Ever notice how sometimes at work you kind of hold back?
Yeah.
Like not just, skipping the karaoke night, but like strategically not showing off how awesome you are.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're diving into that today.
Interesting.
It's all about Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power.
Okay.
And specifically, law number 1, never outshine the master.
Right.
Which honestly, when I first heard it, I was like, what is that even supposed to mean?
Right.
It sounds kind of shady.
Yeah, it does a little bit. It seems Machiavellian on the surface,
Exactly.
Like, oh, I'm not going to, be better than my master. But really what this law is about is understanding this really basic human thing, which is insecurity.
Okay.
We all experience it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
some more than others, but the need to assert dominance, the need to kind of feel secure in your position, that's universal.
So how do we apply this idea of, not outshining your master to a real world situation, especially in a work environment?
Yeah. So think about, the classic advisor to a king.
Okay.
Right. The advisor's really smart, gives all these great ideas, but the king's got to make the ultimate decision. And if the advisor is constantly, showing up the king,
Right.
it's not going to be good.
Making the king feel, insecure.
Right. And it's not about being a yes man, but it's about sort of strategically framing your contributions.
Okay, so it's about being smart. So Greene actually breaks this law down into 3 key concepts.
Yeah.
Avoiding insecurity, making the master look good, and strategic humility.
Yes.
Starting with avoiding insecurity, that seems kind of straightforward.
Yeah.
Don't make your boss feel threatened. But how? Like, how do you walk that line, especially when you are competent and you're eager to contribute?
Right. Well, it really depends on your specific situation. And I would say the first step is to really get a read on the person that you're dealing with.
Okay.
Some bosses, they want you to challenge them. They want to hear different opinions.
Right.
Other bosses, more traditional, they are the boss. They want to be seen as the ultimate authority. So you have to kind of adapt to those situations.
So reading the room, being socially intelligent.
Yes.
Okay. So what about making the master look good?
Right.
That sounds a little, I don't know.
It's tricky. It's tricky because you don't want to be like a brown noser.
Right.
You don't want to be
insincere.
insincere. Exactly.
Yeah.
But think about it this way. Did your boss give you some advice that helped you achieve a goal? Acknowledge that.
Okay.
Did they do something that inspired you, that helped the team? Give them credit for that. It doesn't take away from your accomplishments.
Right.
But it shows that you're aware of, where you fit into the larger picture.
Okay, so it's about being mindful of how your actions reflect on those above you.
Exactly.
Okay, and the big one, strategic humility. How do we even define that, and how do we make sure that we're not being inauthentic doing it?
Yeah, so this is a very fine line to walk.
Right.
I think the best way to think about it is, let's say you come up with this brilliant strategy for a new project.
Okay.
Right. Instead of just going in there and saying, this is what we're going to do.
I solved it.
I solved it. Frame it as, hey, I've been thinking about this. I have some ideas. I would love to get your input.
Okay.
Can we collaborate on this? And that way you're still getting credit for your ideas, but you're also making the boss feel included and they feel like their expertise is valued.
Right, so you're playing the game, but you're playing it ethically.
Exactly.
I like it. This has been great, giving me a lot to think about. For our listeners out there who are thinking, okay, so what? Like, how does this actually apply to my life? What would you tell them?
I would say that whether you're trying to get a promotion, whether you're in a negotiation, whether you're just trying to, assert your point, whatever it is, understanding these kind of fundamental power dynamics is incredibly valuable. It's about maximizing your influence. It's about navigating those waters in a way that, doesn't create unnecessary obstacles or resistance.
It's being smart.
It's being smart, exactly, but not in a manipulative way.
Ethically.
Ethically, exactly.
Awesome. Before we wrap up here, any final thoughts for our listeners to kind of ponder as they move forward, navigate their own power dynamics?
Yeah, I would say think back to a time when maybe you did outshine someone.
Oh.
And it could be at work, it could be in your personal life, maybe you were hanging out with a group of friends and you kind of stole the show. How did that play out? And now, understanding Law 1, how might you have approached that situation differently?
Interesting.
Because it's all about finding that sweet spot.
Yes.
Where you're confident, you're showcasing your strengths, but you're also aware of these kind of unwritten rules of the game.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, great chat today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And for our listeners, thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll catch you in the next one.